Nova Scotia's EMO asked to use the hall as a registration centre for residents of Portapique who had fled their homes. An RCMP officer was posted here in a cruiser. By this time, police were on the hunt for the shooter, who they knew was impersonating a police officer. At 10:30 a.m., 2 RCMP officers fired multiple shots outside the hall. Sources have told CTV News the officers thought they were firing at the suspect when it was in fact a fellow Mountie.
This program is brought to you in part by...
Why don't you get yourself some turned-down collars, Poirot? They're much more the thing, you know.
The thing, Hastings? Do you think Poirot concerns himself with mere thingness?
No. No, I see that.
The turned-down collar is the first symptom of decay of the grey cells.
You know, I just think if people keep pushing, I can't, first of all, thank enough all of the hard work. There's 3 fellow YouTubers who are working very, very hard with me on this one. Rage in the Cage, Steve LTT, and Just My Stupid Opinion. Just plugging them, sorry. But they are fantastic guys, really been busting their humps here. And, you know, stepping up to the plate, because there's a certain amount of risk saying certain things. And also, likewise, all of the people who are volunteering information and time, which, like I said, over on the Discord or sending me anonymously information, it is fantastic.
Howdy. How goes, everybody? We got G in the house. Craig, Ozzy. Okay, let's change this around a little bit. I don't want this being up here. What do I do over here? How's everybody doing today? So I'm sure many of you caught the news about the Bush baby, Ozzy. I don't know, long time no see. It's good when I see you, Ozzy. Now I want to get rid of that. Sorry. What was it? Waiting something? I don't know. I was watching a YouTuber the other night. He does a lot of timing out on things. He's got a very good word. Makes it much more. He's right in there. Okay. CBC. Let's get my mug out of there. Why is this doing that? I don't want that. Well, whatever. Got the background there of the rammed barrier. Actually, we'll have a look at that too. Nova Scotia Conflicts Commissioner considers Mark FUREY review in mass killing inquiry. PC's question whether Justice Minister, a former Mountie, should be involved in the public inquiry. DERP? Oh my goodness. Nova Scotia Conflicts Commissioner is considering a review into whether Justice Minister Mark FUREY, a former Mountie, should be involved in the public inquiry into April's 13-hour rampage that left 23. They want to continue on this path, you know, they can't stop. In a letter of 23 people, angels, dead. In a letter to Justice Joseph P. Kennedy, dated July 31st, so we're backing up a little bit of time here, 2020, Nova Scotia Progressive Conservative Party noted, quote, the public has raised several concerns related to this perceived conflict. Really, just perceived. On Thursday, PC leader Tim Houston's chief of staff told CBC News that Kennedy informed the party that he's examining and considering their request. How good of you. The RCMP have come under heavy scrutiny for its handling of the tragedy, like the decision to tweet about the shooter's whereabouts rather than issuing an emergency alert, and issues around opaqueness. when it comes to releasing details about the case. CBC applied in April for access to the records, and 7 other media outlets joined the application. CBC, you're not a hero in this. Please don't make yourself out to be, most certainly. FUREY has previously said he does not believe he's in a conflict of interest and did not seek an opinion because Kennedy had previously told him he wasn't in a conflict dealing with the Glen Assoon matter, a case which the RCMP destroyed evidence. I don't know if those of you who aren't familiar with the case, and Tim Bousquet did a very good job on it, but seriously, Tim's not in my good books anymore, that could have freed a man wrongfully convicted of murder. I wonder if this has something to do with Al Jones, Tim's agenda. Could it be? I don't know. Quote, in particular, fact scenario, the Assoon matter, you found that it appeared there was no real conflict of interest. You also found that as a matter progressed, there was a, quote, danger that the public would perceive a conflict of interest, the PC letter to Kennedy said. The letter also noted that even just a perceived conflict of interest is a violation of the Conflict of Interest Act. This whole thing is a violation, honestly. It also pointed out that just because FUREY was cleared for the Assoon matter, it doesn't mean that he's absolved from any other, all other cases involving the RCMP. 23, 20, no, we don't have a face, sadly, but it's 23 angels. Let's get it right. Come on, that's what the families asked for. I don't know why we keep supporting this nonsense. So I have to start bombing these, not that the word is figurative, obviously, but on social media, all of these media outlets, get them to correct this. It does make a big difference. It really does make a big difference when, I'll get into that in a moment, but to do with the Clinton Ellison, it did. Quote, given the subject matter of any investigation into the events would examine the role of the RCMP, it's reasonable conclusion to draw that the more comprehensive the process, i.e. the inquiry, I don't know why I've got this stupid thing, go away, an inquiry, the more likely Minister FUREY would have been compelled to give evidence, the letter said. That might not be so good if you have him involved in the inquiry and then he's, a conflict. He can't give evidence? Well, the minister knew or ought to have known that he would be a compellable witness. The fact that the minister, if he honestly, come on, let's be realistic here. We know what we're talking about, right? We're talking about how more to bury shit. So he's going to find a way so that he can't get compelled to give evidence. The whole thing is a sham. I was driving down the road today and I was thinking, I really wish I could impart what I have learned along the way, but I can't. I don't know why. It's very difficult for me to either communicate that or get through. There is a massive conspiracy going on here to bury this. I'm not putting on the tinfoil. It is 100% true. The RCMP absolutely want people to believe that they are incompetent and that we are dealing with just a monster, rather than monster plus very bad RCMP actions going on here, highly illegal RCMP actions, and not just that night, going on for a long time. But this is not getting through to people, I don't think. I think many people still think, sadly, well, okay, it's just Minister FUREY and he's just making a dumb move. Come on. He sat up there with Blair and said, when asked a question, I need to get that sample still. I have so many things to do. When asked at the press conference about the inquiry / review, right? The review, actually, sorry, the handy review that they dreamt up and still kept the inquiry right in their back pocket. Like, it's all chess. It's just chess. Oh yeah, we have that inquiry. It's right here. A couple of days later. Come on, get real. They had it the whole time. They're just anticipating, hopefully, that the public won't get too pissed off. You've got to remain pissed off, and you've got to piss other people off in this one. Otherwise, they're going to bury it. They're going to bury it. We'll talk about that a little bit more. The fact that the minister was participating in any capacity, making determination on a process in which he could be forced to testify in and of itself establishes a conflict, or at the very least, the reasonable perception of a conflict. No, you really don't have to be that intelligent. I'm not being deprecating upon anybody. I'm simply pointing out the truth. It's very transparent what's going on. That's what's transparent. When the families asked, we don't want a review, and the reporter asked Blair and FUREY, why are you doing this against the family's wishes? They sat up there and said, we know what the families want. We don't care. What does that say? Stinks. The whole thing just doesn't stink. It is a cover-up. It has been a cover-up the whole way. There are so many things involved in this. People, pictures. It is unbelievable, the propaganda that has gone on. And the media is very much part of that. I know that people will be like, oh, come on, man. Fuck off. Seriously. Look at Clinton Ellison's video. Look at it. We've got 3 videos now. Do you remember on this channel, very early on, we talked about the video and how it had been edited by 1 minute because I downloaded that. Why do I get all these things all the time? Go away. And that they had edited it. And I said, please go over and leave comments on that channel saying, what the hell is going on? Oh, CBC. Oh, ooh, sorry, we found the minute. Now we're down to Clinton 3.0, the latest incarnation, where it looks like it's made with a cell phone camera, so you can't see the background, and they've taken 2 minutes off now. And they make him look like, oh, he just lost his phone, and it was a terrible accident, what happened down there, rather than what he said before he made his unbelievably heartbreaking video on Facebook, which was very transparent to anybody who can look at that and look at what happened there, because he's the one person who came out. And look what happened. Look what happened to him. Those of you who know him know what I'm talking about. Clinton has struggles. This is true. Were they built upon by the RCMP gaslighting him? Absolutely. Did they put pressure on him? I would bet my life on it. Oh, come on. You got to go and change your story. You got to go out there and absolutely destroy yourself publicly. Otherwise, bad stuff's coming down the line. Yeah, and not to get into his stuff, we won't. What did end up happening? When asked about the situation on Thursday, FUREY said Kennedy is acting on a complaint and has received the preliminary information and deemed there is more work to do. Get out of here. There is no more work to do. Get on with it. Quote, I'll allow the commissioner to finish his work and continue to be guided by his advice. No, he's guided by advice from upstairs. And upstairs of upstairs, FUREY said. FUREY said he hasn't spoken with the commissioner yet, but that he plans to submit a response in the near future. In the, quote, very near future. Was that like the very near future that he was going to have that sham review set up where you didn't have to compel anybody to testify? They didn't have to testify and tell the truth. Tell the truth if they decided to go. Maybe they could say, I got golf game. I don't want to go. Okay, that's not a problem. With your 3 hand-picked people who then would decide what could and could not be released to the public, i.e. families. Unbelievable. He sat around. Very near future. He promised that. Oh, it'll be ready in the next couple of weeks. Oh, and now we're into months. Oh, I promise we'll have it. I promise. They were just waiting until everybody would go away, but they didn't. Bible Hill. Boom. Massive. Good for them. And they even tried to then have the what? The feminist one right away, right? Notice how many families participated in that? That's a subtle sign. They wanted to do something else. Oh, but magically, right away, we actually have the inquiry. It was just here the whole time, but we're just going to transplant our 3 people, and also we're going to do a feminist spin on it, which is all pure and utter propaganda based on what? 2 people? Look at their statements, people. Brenda? Well, George said 1 sentence, I think, in somewhere. And John? Really? Brenda didn't see anything. She said she didn't see anything. Who has this kind of stuff? Lloyd didn't see anything. Why is he on the TV? You want to talk to people who saw things? Go talk to Glenn. Apparently. Nobody goes talks to him. Nobody talks to who was working at the cigar hut that day. Funny that. Wouldn't be that there might be some vested interests in some of that. Is the EDO in Millbrook currently under investigation right now for fraud, misappropriation of funds? Who does Lloyd work for? Why has his website disappeared? Whalen Psychological Services? Just suddenly, poof. I talk about it on the phone, poof. It goes away. What's going on here? You know, something funny happened, which also I wanted to say. It's not going to be a long video. Promise you. In my rush to do things today, because my mind is not always, it's thinking. I don't pay attention sometimes to some of the things that I'm doing, just regular things, right? So my phone got destroyed. I'm not going to get into how, but maybe I might be able to get it back. But I do talk to many of you, funnily enough, on the phone or text with some of you. Those of you who do that with me, please resend me your phone number. I try and keep everything offline and everything. I'm not a big one of syncing crap and throwing it around everywhere. I like to keep things separate. It's a pain in the ass, I'll tell you. But now I don't have phone numbers. So I'll leave my email address. Oh, that's not what I want. Is it? No, of course not. Stand by, please. That's what the person said. Stand by, please. Stand by. I quite like that. Oh, yes, there was a third thing I did want to talk about. Thank you very much to all of you still who are continuing to send pictures and videos. Unbelievable. I'm getting a lot. It is just really fantastic. How do I get this? Oh, come on. Oh, there we go. That'll work. Tech is not my friend. Okay. Me? Paste. Okay, so here's the email address. And I also can be reached on the Tweety things. I am on the Facebook, but not really. It's just a bunk account. So thank you. Please continue to keep the story alive. We got to do that. We just absolutely have to. Here's my Twitter for those of you that are more comfortable over there. Okay, excellent. Now, the other thing I wanted to raise, where was that here? If I can find it, was this. So remember we were talking yesterday. Yeah, translate. Thanks. Go away. No, I don't want your stuff. How do I? Oh, it's La Presse. Balls on your face. Are you going to put your shit in front of my screen? Okay. Now, a lady sent me, I will give her credit, just by first name, Mary. Okay. I don't think that's doxing anybody, is it? Mary? So many of you, I don't mean to be leaving you out. You guys are great. Okay, you guys know that, how much I appreciate your help. Mary sent me this. So we were discussing yesterday about the pictures and how there was a larger picture. And we had more details in that picture, right? Well, it was interesting because Mary found an even bigger picture, more details in this picture. Now, one has to ask themselves, it's clearly zoomed in, so it's been cut, just like every picture we've dealt with. If they wanted us to see video, well, would we have not seen video? Why do we see stills with blurry, overexposed lights and terrible angles, that like the Roots one, where it's just all you see is an RCMP symbol? How many cars do you think were driving around that day? Does it have dates and timestamps on many of these photos? No. Do you see any driver in any of them? No. If they wanted to be transparent, as they say, Mr. FUREY is about as transparent as a shower door also, then they could, but they don't want to be. What they do want is propaganda to feed into mass minds, but many people don't buy it, and they also have dis-op campaigns running. And one lady, recent incarnation, You know who you are. Your messages to Steve, very badly written, very easy to see through. You left out certain details. So go fuck yourself too. Stop spreading shit around. People don't buy it. You think there's no problem. Then why are you in the Facebook group? You just like to waste your time? Or you want to sit there and tell everybody, oh, I saw this and nothing was going on and the Tweety was working and it saved everybody's lives. Go fuck yourself. Now, oh, and the Facebook. I love that. Those people who say, please, anybody who knows of stuff that was happening on the Facebook on the 18th, let me know. Because you know what? I haven't heard one person in Nova Scotia say that stuff was happening on the Facebook pages. I've heard a lot of people, funnily enough, even people across Portapique River, right in the area, who said, I had no idea anything was going on. CBC News, right away. I woke up. I had no idea anything was going on. I've heard a lot of people say that. I've not heard one person, because two people in this story, at least that I'm aware of, dis-op campaigns, say, oh my God, it was just all over the place. Everybody was talking about it. I couldn't go to sleep. Every single person I've spoken to in Nova Scotia, and they all use Facebook a lot, had no clue. In fact, one family member I've spoken to knew and is very heartbroken by the fact that if Facebook, funnily enough, probably had been used, rather than trying to hide it in the Twitter so that nobody would know, there weren't discussions happening, even amongst lay people, civilians. If they had happened, that their loved one would be alive, for sure, because they woke up every morning and that was the first thing that they did. They checked Facebook. They would have known. They wouldn't have died. So this ball's about, it's vital. Okay, I will check it, I promise. Hello, Terry Ann Hernandez. Now, the dis-op campaign is alive and well. And frankly, I'm not a big-headed person. I'm not a braggart. This is what I do. This is what I have done for years. Full time. It would be like going to your dentist. You don't maybe know about teeth. I don't know about teeth that well. So I go to somebody who does. Some of these things, funnily enough, I don't know. I've acquired some knowledge of. RCMP tactics, kind of familiar with it, even though it's not necessarily my forte. Hasn't been for a few years until this time. Now, let's look at the bigger picture that was found. Out of La Presse, French papers are funny beasts, Quebec papers, because they're not owned, right, by the mass media outlets. So, and I know this one too, because when I was doing the Quebec story, to which I have hundreds, thousands of articles, I went to Quebec, whatever. I did it all. I went to the trial. Nobody there. Funny. Anyway, they have a lot of details, the French papers, that the big, like Post Media would be one. Post Media owns 3/4 of the newspapers in my town. The quote-unquote conservative, if you believe this bullshit, conservative paper. They own the quote-unquote liberal paper. They own, obviously, one of the national papers. And that's the way it is almost in every town. Save Toronto and Quebec. So funnily enough, you can find interesting stuff in Quebec papers. I always found that. So thank you for sending me this, because here's a bigger picture. We have more detail now. Now, I've posted it over in the Discord, but we can see there's quite a bit of front-end damage, and it's very high up. Hey, Paul, what's going on? God bless you, sir. God bless you all. Jesus is a great man. He's the Son of God. Anyway, we can see that there's quite a bit of damage up high. Now, does this necessarily fit with hitting a guardrail? Does it? I don't think so. I liked how it was also filed underneath possible active shooter arrest, and none of it. No injuries. John Morris, sorry. John Morris was a busy man. Got a lot of photos. They didn't come out until later. This photo, to me, only surfaced. Anybody who knew about this photo, I would love to hear about it. And you better bring some hard evidence prior to the warrant release. I can put it in but it doesn't work very well when I start digging into the details of the reverse image search. It doesn't work very well. Things don't add up. Stories on their pages that don't fit the timeline. April, what is it they say? I think the first release date on the pictures is April 24th. How convenient. Isn't that the day of the first press conference? Major press conference. Campbell's debut on the 24th, if you reverse image search it. But if you look at the actual papers, the articles that come up with that article, and then you click on the article, funnily enough, it's not there. There are things to do with Morneau leaving politics. That didn't happen until August. It's, to me, what I'm seeing potentially is a planted photo. Oh, that's crazy. Really? Understand the internet. Really? The internet is so fucking hardcore, man. It is so easy to do things if you know what you're doing. And though I'm a techno bumpkin, I do have some understanding, definitely, on how the internet works, how the internet was created, who created it, the social media platforms, how they interact with one another, which is all, plays into more of what I was going to talk about before this came up. But this picture is rather interesting. Let's have a look at, I did some lines. Hello, sad mafioso. My phone is in trouble, so I may need your number again. Sorry about that. I try not to stick anybody's numbers on the internet so that people can go and look. But I might actually, I don't know, use a burner phone from now on. I'm tired of the RCMP listening to my phone. Fuck off, man. You guys blow. I don't need to help you out. Where is the... we don't need to be helping them out. Now... Oh. So I posted this over in the Discord. But here we can see the lines of damage, because they do line up, right? What does this damage have to do with? What's going on there? Well, clearly, this vehicle didn't get that damage, just going out on the road that day. 15B6, 15B is Enfield. Mr. Moneypenny was right. People have been going and looking at the scenes, taking lots of photos, and it's sketchy. It's sketchy on how, on whether this person, Mr. Morrison's statement here, which I haven't gone back and looked through the other warrants yet, because I'm pretty sure there's a statement on the 19th he made also. Even though this one says on the 21st, it's not submitted till May 5th. It's just like a game of catch up. They're playing cat and mouse, cat and mouse. Somebody says something, oh, we'll change that and we'll put that in a warrant that we'll release in a future date. Because how many warrants do we have left? I think we're left with, they don't really want to say, but I think we've got maybe about 14 warrants left still to be released. I think we're up to 9 at this point. You love my filing system. My filing system is this, which is probably why my phone is destroyed. But that's the way it works. Okay, now let's have a look. I'm just going to pop over and have a look at my mail and see. Terry said sent something. You sent something to the link. What link was that? I'm going to scroll up here. I'm not seeing a link. Where did you send the link? Hey, Alex. Yeah, I liked the cover. Furry. Any of you who know what furries are? Furries fit, right? He's a furry. I know that'll antagonize him, which is good. I'm going to try and get this video together too of the Clintons videos and how CBC is really changing his story around so that McMillan, it's McMillan who did it this time. Again, McMillan, Campbell's friend, the yes woman. What do you need? How high do you need me to jump? Oh, we'll have a private interview. The lengthy interview, which never appeared. And then they put the 5-minute clip in later. Did any of you guys watch that? The day, what was that, the Monday, finally, they put a press article out, even though it was supposed to appear on the National. It told families the week prior, oh, keep watching the TV, keep watching. It'll have lots of details in there. They waited with bated breath. I did a 6-hour stream looking for it that day. Finally, on the Monday, they have a print article with no video. Just a print article. Who was it that interviewed him? Lengthy interview. Only one person. The same person whose article got changed as to the gas station and the how convenient filling station. Oh yes, we just stopped for gas, which is now deleted. Oh, but it's archived. Anybody can go check it out for themselves. Just archive.is. Look at the Wikipedia article, the citation that they use, enter the same article in archive.is, and you will find a gas station reference in it. Not in the new one. McMillan scrubbed that out. Now, is it McMillan? Who knows? Obviously, I don't think so. But she gets told that's what's happening. She just says, okay. These media people who are complicit in that, editors, owners, clearly, are garbage. We give them money. They can just take their money and fuck off. But they don't even care about the money. That's the funny thing, right? They look at New York Times. They'll sink money into New York Times, even though it's a money-eating machine, because it's propaganda. It's a tool. The church hearings, anybody familiar with the church hearings? Totally true. Sat there in front of Congress. Congressional hearing. I told you. When was that? 1960s, early 1970s. Lots of great stuff. Okay, now, Sad Mafioso. Love you, buddy. But you're on a roll this week, and I got to sleep. You do got to get some sleep. You're going to have a heart attack, like you said. Go and have a bourbon and go to bed. FUREY is ex-Mountie and should have no part in this. Why do they want him there? Why? The other two clearly are bad news brown that are left. Oh, you're going to throw a third one in there? They get to make all the decisions. What is made known public. This is the same sham. It's just sham 2.0. The whole thing is a sham. A sham. And our trusting nature and other people, our own brains, it takes a long time to break this conditioning. Oh, you mean that there's people do bad things? Of course they do. People have bad motives? Of course they do. And if you have an issue with that, I highly encourage you to do the investigative work for yourself. If you need some help, I can try and help you with that. They have been fucking everybody in this whole story, traumatizing everyone. And they'll get away with it if people don't challenge them on it. But they're terrified. They are afraid. They are afraid this time, very afraid. But equally, don't go into the far extreme, like the Tim Bousquet L. Jones agenda, which is we need to get rid of police entirely. What lunacy is that? We need a good police force. We need a police force that we support and has good supportive services for its members. We need great leadership, excellent training. What was it? Here's another article I'll give you. She sent me such great stuff. Wow. Toronto Sun. Is this going to be behind a paywall? Oh, thank goodness. No, I don't want to. I accept your cookies, so you can go fuck those too. What is that? 48-hour sale. This is out of the Toronto Sun. RCMP accepted poorly qualified applicants report. October 1st, 2020. See what's going on here? Do you see what's going on? They want people. They've been working really hard to destroy this police force. I don't want it destroyed. I want a good police force. A great police force. One that people in Japan can look at the surge on a bear and be like, wow, those guys really do get their man. It's not that they drop their requirements so that they have shitty. Who would have that? Does that logically make sense? Let's have the shittiest people in. Let's see how shitty they like it in there. And you know that's coming from white shirts. Lucky ran Debo. You'd think the RCMP would recruit the best and the brightest in its policing. You'd think. Cognitive disconnect. Of course you'd think that, but they don't. Funny that. However, an internal audit, coming from themselves, found the Mounties have accepted applicants who were poorly qualified, and some with even with criminal records. Criminal records. Do we want to hire criminals to try to maintain the law? Criminality in Nova Scotia. Surprise? Surprise. Look at Bob Paulson and how he got his job and all the trash he's attached to. Oh my. Oh. The audit said the RCMP appeared to put more emphasis on, quote, the quantity of applicants with less focus on quality. Again, I think we're just selling it short there. In the report, 38 randomly selected successful applications were examined. Auditors found 4 that had failed the police aptitude test, quote, multiple times. Let's have somebody who can't even jump over. What is the ERT requirement right now? 18 kilos. Is it 18? Sorry, no, not 18 kilos. I've got that wrong. 9 kilos. 9 kilos, I believe. It could be correct. So please, if I'm wrong, correct me. 9 kilos over a 1.7 meter wall. Well, I'm taller than 1.7 meters. Real tough to carry 20 pounds over a 1.7 meter wall. And that's the elite. Do they want to have police officers that cannot do their job? Yes. Purposefully. Why do you think they keep saying stupid things like that there is such things as, and I know this is going to be a sensitive one. Yes, there are racist police officers. Is there a, quote, systemic racist problem? No, there is not. There's shitbags in the force that need the heave-ho big time, and if they've used their racist shit, they should be found guilty and charged and tried. But systemic? That means everybody, or the vast majority, meaning themselves. Lucky and Paulson. Yes, we are systemic. So you're fucking racist is what you're saying? Maybe we could send L. Jones down there and spray paint on them houses. Racist, racist. Because they're racists, right? They're the ones in charge of it. Funny that. Multiple times. 2 were rejected by other police forces, and, quote, 1 was previously rejected by the RCMP 5 times. It also stated that some cadets at Depot, the RCMP's training academy in Regina, were, quote, eventually denied security clearance and sent home partway through training. Gosh, it sounds like somebody who's in the news right now, in charge of Five Eyes for Canada. The whole world is pissed off because we sold their secrets. And, you know, they're the ones that do the security clearances on people like, I don't know, Monsef, who didn't seem to know her birth date, birth country. All the politicians. It's a systematic, that's a systemic problem. The show, the sham, the theater that we get fed. And everybody's supposed to believe it. And the vast majority don't even have time or don't want to. That was a scary day when I pointed some stuff out to my mom, and my mom, I was like, why don't you help? She's a highly intelligent woman. She got big balls. And she said, I don't want to see it because I'm afraid. I know it's there, but I'm afraid. Wow. So I know that rings around in other people's heads too. Maybe some of them don't want to even address that one. They're so busy with the trauma that they're already inflicted with. Among the reasons for failing security clearances were admitted drug use or criminal records. Drugs, RCMP. Bible Hill, former head of the Bible Hill detachment, disappearing drugs out of the Halifax police department, all the police departments. Does that mean that there's bad police officers? Yes. Is there bad white shirt crap at the top? Most certainly. Are there plenty of good police officers who are highly qualified? You know that down in the United States, if you are beyond a certain IQ, you get rejected for many police forces. Seriously. They want the bottom of the barrel because then it falls apart. Crime in society, people incur more trauma. Crimes aren't getting solved. Criminals are running around. It just keeps circling the drain. Then they inflame it by saying things that are not true, like systemic racism, rather than we have some very bad police officers and we're actually going to do something about it. Not that we get recommendations constantly and just ignore all of them. Decades they've been getting recommendations. But that's a big make work project, makes people feel good. Let's move on for a little bit. And then we have more raping, more bullying, more PTSD, transparency problems all over the place. Journalists, even the journalists, these journalists who are very controlled, voted RCMP the most secretive law enforcement agency in Canada. Now you're going to say, well, there's not many. How about, I don't know, CSE? Lots of people don't even know what CSE is. And that's because they're very secret. Shh. But they're less secret than the RCMP. CSIS. No. RCMP, much better. They don't tell anybody the truth about anything. They even lie in court. Susie Bootlin, very clear case. Assume, destroying evidence. How about the Picton, destroying evidence? Who would say don't? There was a man who put in a private application to please don't destroy that evidence. The judicial system said to him no. The RCMP had probably already destroyed it, I would imagine. Kind of was in a bit of a bind. Probably like much of the evidence at backhoes. Remember backhoes down in Nova Scotia? Remember 15-hour crime scenes at Shube? They couldn't investigate anything in 15 hours hardly, let alone the gravity of that situation. Massive amounts of crime perpetrated at that one scene. No. Oh, we're done here. Move along, please. FUREY. McNeil. All connected to RCMP. All of them. Or are. All of the people in the story. The ones you read about in the paper. Investigate them. Dig into them. You'll see. The people that are the people who are the naysayers on different groups, Facebook groups, people who come in here, even a couple of people on the Discord. You investigate them, you start to see a pattern. They sold their souls. They sold them a long time ago. Some of them, though, I believe, aren't beyond redemption because they know there's something very wrong with what they're doing. It's reaching them and saying to them, if it's your family, how do you feel? How do you feel? I'm looking forward to coming down to Nova Scotia. I'm looking forward to Tara, myself, and a good friend going around knocking on people's doors, and they can look her in the eye and say they don't know anything. No, I never saw anything. I can't talk about it. I don't know. You're going to have to talk to the RCMP. Look me in the eye. Face to face. Oh, people can't do that. Many people can't. It does something. If you've ever watched people, they crumble. It's amazing. Then truth starts to spill. The RCMP eased qualifications after a decline in recruitment 6 years ago. Well, that might have something to do with you don't pay them very well now. They used to be paid very well. It's still a good job. Don't get me wrong. But they'll go and work for other police forces because other police forces pay them way more money. We actually have police officers coming in from out of country. The Calgary Police Service has massive recruiting campaigns that they do in England. Huge. Many of our police officers are not even citizens. Many. This is not uncommon even in the RCMP. They recruit elsewhere. People who don't have the same understanding clearly don't know their communities at all. And I'm not shitting on them either. It's a fact. How would you know something if you never were there? It takes a long time. I couldn't go and police out in Nova Scotia. I can't even say the fucking names. That's human. That's normal. Nor would I expect anybody from Nova Scotia to come down here and police here and know what the hell was going on. It takes years and years living in a community to understand the people, to know the people, to understand the places. You can't transplant people. They want to recruit shit. Why? Why do they want crime that doesn't get solved? Why do they want an increase in crime? Why do they want to lie to you and then tell you there isn't an increase in crime, only to get busted and then say, oh yes, well actually we're really sorry about that. As a comparison, the application rejection rate in 2018 was 66%, while 10 years ago, the rejection rate was 88%. An average of 800 RCMP officers a year retire or resign from the force. Now, I've talked about this number before. I'm trying to reach RCMP officers. Those, you have great people. Even the ones who are listening to my phone. You have a soul. You know what your force does to you. My phone, look at my emails, fuck around with my computer. You have a soul. You have families. And you have people who actually, legitimately, love you. I'm not being facetious. Love you. You had a problem, I'm going to come and help you. I know many of you would. Go and help an RCMP officer. Absolutely. Even though they're going to get charged for it, more than likely. Why do 800 officers a year retire or resign from the force? About 30 some odd percent. I'll pull the stats up. I don't have them here with me right now. I will show you. Mental, they get run out on mental discharge. Now, this is why I'm talking to you, RCMP officers, specifically right now. You know that happens in your force, a fuckload. You know those people legitimately need help. Many people always do. Your force doesn't take care of you. They don't love you. They throw you under the bus. Over and over and over and over. They don't help you. Why not have a force that works, that does support you? You can have that. You can have that, but you gotta have some balls. You gotta start speaking. People will listen and people will support you. Because that's community. That's being a good human, not your fucking force, who you know will drum you out in a heartbeat. %30 of these people gone. Gone. Campbell's ex-wife, gone. Carly killed herself. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Don't need it. Don't need it. And it can end. It all can end. People start telling the truth. Truth is what wins. People start talking. People start taking care of one another. They don't think this NIMBY attitude. NIMBY. Not in my backyard. I don't care. NIMBY. all of you who do the hard work, the ones that are true, you love people, many cases, you love people you don't even know. Right? I do. Day in and day out. How many of these people do I know? How many? As in, I have known them for years. Tara would be one. That's it. But friends support each other for so long, and then they get tired and they walk away. In many cases. But I see something much greater. The potential. I would never walk away from a friend anyway. But it's so much bigger than that. So many people. And I've heard them on the phone. Yeah. You know, I dream about them. We don't need to have this. You, the RCMP officers, I'm speaking to you. You don't need to work for a force like this. Where you're scared that your partner, who's underqualified, won't be there for you. Your force, who you know, will throw you under the bus. You pipe one word that you're stressed about something, oh God, help you. That will follow you the rest of your life. You know that. They don't give you the training that you should need. They don't pay you the money that you deserve. We don't. This is on us. Because we don't demand different. So, FUREY, out. Demand it. Get off your ass. All of us, collectively. We need to get off our ass and do something about it. "23 Roses. I propose that one as a start. And that was a great suggestion. Given to me, funnily enough, by somebody in the RCMP. 23 Roses. On a regular basis. Down at Bible Hill. And let the press know. We're delivering the roses. Every week. Boom, 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 boom. Blasted all over Twitter, all over social media. These people cannot be forgotten about. Not left behind. All right. I've babbled on now for a while. Let's check some of your comments here. Jesus Christ, good guy? Absolutely. Son of God. Is God. Even those people who don't believe, you can always still look at people who have good morals. He didn't have bad morals, that's for sure. I text you my number. Message me on the Discord if you need it again. Okay, I think you did that on the Discord. Thank you. Yes, and I can obviously take that on the Discord as well. The Docs Court. Who cares? Fuck them. I don't care. Look all you want. All you do is piss me off more. Oh, yes. Keep watching the TV. It will all melt your brain, leads you right. Yep. Absolutely. The internet is just the latest and greatest incarnation of that. Much better than the TV. Much, much better. That's why they like to know exactly what everybody's doing. I mean, how like some of this stuff, seriously, people would not believe. Twitter, how about that? Let's just take one story. Oh, here, actually, I'll do it over there. Oh no, Seamus, you're full of shit. Really? Okay. Disop campaign. They bury these articles now, even though they come from very, very good sources. They don't like them. Probably. And Google, fuck them, man. Here's one. Guardian. Even though I don't believe in press because they're fucking owned. Whatever. Manage my cookies. Piss off. Go away. These fucking assholes. Everything is just. They want to look. They want to look. They want to look. They want to look. Who cares? Doesn't matter anyways. You just click buttons. Makes you feel better. Facebook shared private user messages with Netflix and Spotify. Twitter does the same. They all share all of our information. They build psychological profiles on everybody. Everybody. Everybody knows everything about everybody. Why the hell would Facebook care about, or Netflix care about your dick pics? They want to understand your mind. And it goes to crazy extremes. I'll be glad when I get back to doing what I should be doing. Huh? Facebook wants your nude photos. What could possibly go wrong? They want your nude photos so that they can protect you from having your nude photos out there. Does anybody see mental illness in that? No, I really don't want to send you my nude photos. But thanks for coming out. Dirt? I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on. There is nowhere you can hide. So maybe God was telling me something about my phone. I hate my phone, and I know exactly what it represents. I know exactly, just like I know what all this fucking shit gives me the ability to talk. Yes, gives me the ability that what echo chambers they have me locked into, have us locked into. There's the echo chambers. Been that way for years. They don't want your message getting out because your message, funnily enough, is the truth. More often than not. Everybody makes mistakes. I make mistakes. We all make mistakes. But entertaining that discussion can't be had. Gotta seal it down. Shut it down. We have to have the normies, the sheeple. They can't be touched. And then you keep piping stuff into them. Doing it through the schools for forever. Did it when I was in school. I didn't even realize it. I mean, I always asked questions. I always looked. But some stuff, wow, that was a real wake-up call. You dig back through those old history books, the ones before they were bought up, just like the papers, just like the media, just like all the big internet companies, just like the banking, just like Hollywood, just like the entertainment industry. Let's go back through old books. They even fucking delete those. The ones that are online, they'll destroy them too. Books, I've a couple of books. Well, I have quite a list of books, funnily enough, that one day I'd like to have. I always buying books, but many of them are extraordinarily expensive because there's only a few copies left, because certain people buy them and destroy them because they don't want you to know. Furry had a little sham. Rick, how's it going? Michael Stewart in the house. James. Oh, they take orders. From. It goes deep, man. It goes deep. Gates is just another pie face. Gates. Police need to know that they have to answer the peaceful. Yeah, they do. But they also have to need to know that people really, truly do support them. And when you love somebody, like, I'm not using it in the gay sense or in the any of that kind of sense. I'm just meaning loving another human being, caring about them, that they have support. Something that I know they've worked real hard to hammer that out of us. Real hard. Put you in a city, nobody knows anybody. Get everybody off doing everything else but paying attention to what's going on around them. Don't ask questions, because if you ask questions, well, that's bad. Do you know that I think I relayed this the other day, but my girlfriend's children, there was something that one of them was working on as a project, let's say, not to do with school. And I looked through what they had put in their computer, because I was like, I don't think it's necessarily getting done. Let's have a look at what's getting done. There wasn't a lot there. But I took certain sentences and I put them into quotation marks, and then I searched them. What he had done was plagiarized. What he had written. Plagiarism. And so then I said, well, that's not the way things are done. You can't plagiarize things. You have to read and be able to understand things fully and then interpret them. That's the way a mind works. And the other child said, well, that's the way we're taught in school. And I said, pardon? Oh, yes. Copy paste is how we do it. All you have to do is just turn it in then, and then you don't have to remember it anymore. And I said, how do you learn anything then? Well, you just need to turn it in, then you're done. I'm like, that's a problem. on top of the agenda that they push in there. Ouch. All you know how to do is copy paste. I'm not saying these children are dumb, because they're not. But society tries to dumb things down. It was like years ago, I went out with a girl and she said to me, we had a staff meeting today. I asked her what she was doing. And she said, we had a staff meeting today. And the boss was giving us shit. I said, oh, yeah. She said, well, I specifically got singled out. And I said, well, why was that? And she said, well, because the boss said certain ones of us were sending around emails with big words. So they said, we must use small words so that everybody understands it. I'm like, so your company wants you to be retarded. Is that what you're telling me? Like they actually, and when I say retarded, I mean it in its literal sense. They want to retard the intelligence. Does that make sense? We don't want better, just like the RCMP. We don't want better, we want worse. Because very easy to control. Then you start throwing out words like, I don't know, sustainable, etc. Newspeak garbage. Word salad that people look at and they're like, what the hell? I dug through some very high-level organizations at one point, and I was trying to, that Mr. Trudeau and other politicians, that doesn't matter, they're all part of it, go to. And I'm like, I was reading their documents, and I have a fairly decent education, university. I'm not a fool. Basically, until a few years ago, I was a lifelong student. Just go, 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 go. Clearly, I'm not 20. So I've had a few years of university. And I couldn't understand a fucking word they were saying. It was gibberish. Utter gibberish. Neural linguistic. Here. This is more into other stuff. I do hope I don't lose people along the way, because I kind of dump other things here and there. Psychology. Ouch. Stay away from it. Can be used for its good things, and it is absolutely, utterly abused, though. Neuro-linguistic programming. The word kind of says it right there. Programming. Neuro, brain. Linguistic, word. Programming. Pseudoscientific approach. No, it's taught. Approach to communication, personal development, psychotherapy created by Richard Bandler and John Grinder in the 1970s. NLP creators claim there is a connection. Claim. Research it. Research it. You'll see what I'm talking about. Wikipedia is very controlled, by the way. Claim that there is a connection between neurological processes, language, linguistic, and behavioral patterns learned through experience. Programming. No. Programming means just like a computer. Data in, desired effect out. Why would you want to do such a thing? It's all the way that you speak a certain way, certain words. Warm, fuzzy words are identifiable to people. Words that maybe they don't quite have a grasp for the literal sense. And you change the meaning of it. Lots of changing things, like changing names. I know some of you know what I'm talking about. All right, I'm going to bed. Good. I've already had the bourbon. Okay, I know I'm behind now. So somebody was telling me like half an hour behind last night. When I was talking to them on the phone, they said, I just didn't even bother to put anything more because we were too far behind. I love communism they used to elevate idiots and crush the educated. Yep. Yep, useful idiots. That's why it's important. Dumb everybody down. Make everything worse. And that's contrary. You know that inside. That's contrary to everything we know. Species, scientific species, animal kingdom. They will adapt. They will grow. They will try to get better at everything that they do. Children. We have children. We hope that our children won't go through the same things that we do. We use the advice to use. So likewise, you do not want to make things worse. You actually want to improve things. You always strive for the best. These people don't want you to strive. They want to crush you and control you. Nothing changes unless a crown and corrupt politicians rout it. Yeah. It's on a much bigger level. But got to work your way up the food chain. Got to work your way up the food chain. And this is why the RCMP story is an important one. And I'm not coming with an agenda that is from a bad place. I know that. I've looked really deep inside myself. I prayed on it. It's not a poor place. To be the best that we can be is always a good thing. You never get rid of corruption in government until you get rid of central bankers. Okay, I can't walk into this one because it's not time. Clearly it wasn't time. Even though I want it to be. God says it's not time yet. I would have been able to do my stuff, but then something was presented. So later, people will be more receptive, I think. That's what I'm being told. There are way too many connections to the RCMP, and many ex-RCs have any part in this inquiry. It needs to be unbiased. It needs to be selected by the family members. And not from a pool of trash. Unbiased people. Not from Nova Scotia. Not with political affiliations. Not with university degrees. Massive amounts of professors. Many of them garbage. Very sad. Very, very sad. It's great to debate them, though. They usually go down in a hail of glory. I particularly like doing that. My mother always says the same. Hey, sad. Sounds like we have familiar lives. Sleep well, bro. Paul likes his ciders. I'm learning everybody's drinks. I don't know why. Paul's a great guy. Key to control, easily manipulate people in key positions and looked over criminal records and fitness is a great way to control. Yeah, sure. The ramifications of having a poor police force, a poor morale in a police force, scared, underqualified, criminal. There was a lady's, I have stuff on my wall above me. There, I think I took it down. There's lots of them. Articles that I just kind of keep up there, keep me grounded, so to speak. One of them was a civilian within the Ottawa police force years ago who stood up for her principles, and they're justified and right principles, that she was told to hire somebody, anybody within the Somali community, because the Ottawa police wanted to appease and to get into all the, well, that's what they do. That's what they do. I mean, we went back to, that's what they do. All of them. Doesn't matter what. Who oversaw an investigation I was just talking about a little while ago into the RCMP, Ottawa police. Anyway, so they kind of gave her some applications and just said, here, rubber stamp one. And she went through them all, and she's like, no, I can't. There's nobody in here that I can hire. Well, hire this one, they say. And she said, no, I can't. He has criminal record, multiple convictions. I cannot hire this man. The chief of police reprimanded her. And she said, you know what? I quit. I don't need that. I can't, in good conscience, hire criminals. You asked me to do a job. What was my job? To prevent criminals and ineligible, underqualified people from entering this force. And now you're telling me to look past that? Oh yeah, wink, wink. You're supposed to do that. No, I can't, says she. I can't. And I was like, hero. She quit. Take some balls. Good for her. And of course, that officer, funnily enough, I followed it. He got into trouble. He shot somebody. Oops. Anyway, chaos leads to reform. Reform equals money. Money is just, you know that. Money is just a method of control. One of the biggest methods of control. Money and fear, greed, always plays on the evil parts of our very nature, which we can succumb to, and the world plays on all of us. Do we give into it? No, we don't have to. If you stand up with no fear, you can see their fear. Yes. Fear is afraid when you don't fear. Just remember you are here for a reason, and it's not to live your life in fear. Bang on, Loretta. Fear is a virus. And the women folk need protection from these deceivers, being weaker vessels that God made them. Turn them TVs off. Women aren't, to me, weaker. Physically, we are all different. By and large, women are. If we're being honest, that's not a derogatory thing. Likewise, men are carnal and what? Unemotional. Women have that beauty that we can never aspire to. We get rewarded with some brute strength. Yay, win. But men need to stand up and protect their women. Yes, absolutely. You need to protect people that are weaker than yourself. And not saying, oh, there, you're weak. I need your help. Here's a way I can maybe help you out. But I know you'll help me out. Because you've got all kinds of gifts I'll never have. Wish folks would turn their TVs off. TVs blow. I fucking canceled my cable years ago. YouTube indoctrinates me. They try and steer me. I made a video a long time ago about a couple times. What is YouTube streams feeding you? In your recommended stuff, they love to play the psychology with the algorithms. mind manipulates stuff. Fall asleep listening to things. It makes an impact. If I watch TV for more than an hour, I start speaking Yiddish. Ouch. Ouch. There was somebody in here the other day who may have taken offense to that thought. Just saying. You may have called something out. I don't know. Justice for Nova Scotia. Hashtag. Great stuff. Lots of great comments in here. You guys are so awesome. 23 and yeah, there's a great hashtag. Just keep bombing that on them. How about that on the Tweeties? Maybe I'll start sending that out this afternoon. Just hashtag 23 angels, hashtag 23 angels, hashtag 23 angels. Dropped on the RCMP, Blair, Furey, who's a furry, I think, in his spare time. Gotta run, Terry Ann. Take a good hard read. The link I shared above. I didn't see the link. I didn't get it. That's unfortunate because I know you're gone because I'm so far behind. Hopefully you'll watch the rest of this and you can send it to me again, or I'll see you. My memory remembers. They are liars and deceivers. Subverters. Subverters. Hey, oh dear. Good to see you again, too. Beautiful house. Yeah. You want to partake in bad things in this world. You know, that's what part of it is. To play that game, you gotta, and many people fall into that trap, sadly. I don't quite get that, but there must be something. Control. It's always about control. Control. Everybody wants to control everybody else. I don't want to control anybody else. And I certainly don't want anybody controlling me. Aussie Cat. Make an example of a few big name vetoes. The rest fall in line. Make nooses. Great again. Make nooses great again. And I saw something today about that. Wow. It made me remember something. I forget what the hell it was, though. It's triggering something. It's good. Because there are evil people, for sure, at the top that just absolutely they're so far gone you can't even ask them why. There's not any point in wasting time with these people with why. They're gone. You have to try and pull at the hearts of the ones that maybe have gone a little astray, maybe have succumbed to fear or greed or whatever it is, but that have the conscience still inside, buried there. And then you just have to pick that up and get those people, because there's far more of them. Good people, great people. And everybody stumbles and makes mistakes. I certainly know that. But we can get out of that together. You'll have to meet your maker one day, and may God have mercy on your soul. They don't care. They don't care. To them, that's their God. They pray to a different God. Make castration. Smartphones. Yeah, smartphones were the worst things. George Carlin, I loved his line long ago about that, lines about that. People will see, they will uncover eventually the true depth of what all this is. I mean, it goes really high. Go into ICANN and the shit that runs that. Oh, ICANN, what that? ICANN. runs the internet. Google's subservient to them. Dumbing down of society. Babies as young as 2 now have their own iPads. Yeah, many kids. I know kids in my own life that they know how to do shit on their smartphone before they can talk. I'm like, get that fucking phone out of their hands, man. France. I would never say that to somebody on the street, but they gotta make their own decisions. But my friends, I'm like, dude, that's fucking bad news. Bad news shit. Programming guide. Programming. You don't, what is it, like TV show? Okay, well, you don't show a computer. You don't show, it's programming. Mm-hmm. It's not a liberal conservative thing. They fucking built that system too. Yeah, honestly. We can have a good chat about that one day. It goes back far. The left, the right, fuck them, man. There's always people who have diverging opinions, but they're not this. One of the guys I used to work with a long time ago, he would describe himself very intelligent, describe himself as a classical liberal. And he's like, what they call liberal now is nothing like I know. And he would always speak out against it. Ever learning to able to come up with the truth. Today's world is elevated to lowest common denominator rather than educate them to a higher standard. Why? I want to live in a society where everybody strives to be the best that they can be. I don't want to tell my girlfriend's kids to be the worst that they can be. I want them to be the best. I want them to have everything that they can. And the mistakes that I made, I never want them to travel. Ever. Because why? Save the time. Let's save the time. Let's support them and build them up. Everything is nail people down, you know? You see that too? It's part of the balkanization. You're a victim. You're a victim. Everybody's a victim. Even white males, Christian white male, victim. I'm not a victim. You know, funnily enough, who said that? I don't know if I should repeat that. He didn't say it that way, but there was somebody involved with this story. I'll leave it there. You all know who this person is. And they, whatever, junk. Fucking always junk. They said, I'm not a victim. You don't need to worry about me. Don't feel badly for me. I'm fucking strong. They didn't say it like that, but more eloquently. My language is terrible. They are ever learning and never able to come up with the knowledge to the knowledge of the truth. Truth. Know the truth and it shall set you free. Control media, control masses, which controls the media asses. Music, videos, all of it. Entertainment, movies, television shows, internet, porn, whatever it is. It's just there to fucking mislead people, take them down a road. Check out Edmonton. Omar got $10 million taxpayers through bought mall. Now running a track. I don't know anything about training camp in that mall. I do know some of the stuff about him, but It's better to go higher than that. Go into CETA and Chrétien's connections. Let's see if I can pull up some of that. CETA. Qatar. What was his father's name? I forget his father's name. What's his charity's name? Charity. Ahmed Qatar. There you go. The whole family. There has been described as having ties to a number of militant Mujahideen leaders in Afghanistan. Why are we playing around over there again? It's not our stuff. Leave it alone. We've been manipulated into these things. Manipulated by people who subvert. Osama bin Laden, including Osama bin Laden, founder of Al Qaeda. Qatar was accused by Canada and the United States of being a senior associate and financier of Al Qaeda. During this period, Qatar worked with a number of non-charitable government organizations that served Afghan refugees and set up agricultural products. Really? Oh, see how the article is gone? It's probably archived. Archives, I love archive.is, particularly love archive.org. And this channel, funnily enough, that was a really interesting day when I got informed that I was left a comment one day by altcensored.com. And they're like, we're monitoring your channel 24 hours a day now. Every video that you have is being backed up. I'm like, holy fuck. Alt Censored they deal with some spicy stuff for sure. But I wasn't talking about anything spicy, and I'm not that big of a channel. I'm not very big at all, or so they say. Alt Censored? I'm like, what the fuck? You guys are watching? They're like, yes, we're watching. We're filing it all away, so if videos get banned, we have them. You have a channel. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Thank you for that. Thank you very much. And they said, no, thank you for doing the work. I was like, what the fuck, man? I don't do anything. But if you look through CETA here, I don't know if it'll have it. No. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong page. What are you on about? Haunted house schedule. Balls. That's probably going to be banned. No. Canadian International Development Agency. There we go. Establishment. There we go. In that year, joined Human Concern International. Like, look at the title. Human Concern, the name of the NGO. Oh, vomit. Human Concern International full-time. It was a Canadian-based charity operating in Peshawar, with which he had been cooperating. The charity had been investigated following a statement by Osama bin Laden. The bin Laden, quote, the bin Laden's establishment's aid covers 13 countries, and this aid comes particularly from Human Concern International Society. Under Qatar's leadership, HCI built Hope Village, a Qatar, Katak, to house 400 orphans, and a number of unemployed refugees were given work repairing damage at the Khost airfield. Gained the support of the World Food Program. and a $325,000 donation from CIDA, Canadian International Development Agency, which is really small potatoes. It was way bigger than that. And it got to the point that, let's see if they have that listed here. Find correct. As Canadian Prime Minister Jean Chrétien happened to be in time because he was, let's see here, he was caught bombing. See, here we go. His plight caught, oh, Jesus, where is it? Back here, fuck. On November 19th, this is one of his associates, carried out an attack on the Egyptian embassy in Pakistan. It was, how many people did it kill? I can't remember how many people this killed. Maybe it talks about it. And the suitor, Ahmed, had arranged for his daughter, went into hiding. Oh, this is probably, oh, this is her name again. God, the whole family is not good. Warrant was sworn for Qatar's arrest. 8 days later, it was discovered that Khalid Abdul had purchased one of the vehicles used in the attack. 24 Pakistanis went into his house, no 2300, but he was still in Afghanistan and he had been there since before the attack. Maha barricaded the door when, it was Zainab. Is it Zainab? Zainab is awesome. You guys know Zainab? Oh. Oof. Oof. Zainab. Who was she married to? Let's see here. Married multiple times. Marriages. You'll recognize one of the names if it comes up, I'm sure. Oh, did we miss it? Boyle. Where is it? Boyle. Oh, yeah. I better stop because I'm just going to, I can keep taking you down. There we go. Joshua Boyle. You guys know Joshua Boyle? Whatever happened to Joshua? His raping of kids. Yum. He was over hanging out with Trudeau. Just gets more and more nasty as you go. The whole family. Zainab, I wonder where she ended up. Last I heard, she was in Turkey using multiple passports, Canadian passports. They would always fly back and forth. Who's giving him the money? Oh, he's getting salaries from HCI. Others allege he was using HCI to launder money to finance the attack. Oh, it was bad. Where he denounced Foreign Affairs Minister Asad Ahmed Ali. Blah, blah, blah. His plight caught the attention of the Canadian Arab Foundation and the Jewish Rights Educational Foundation of Canada. What does that have to do with the price of tea in China again? The Arab Foundation I could possibly see. The Jewish Civil Rights Educational Foundation. What is their mandate exactly? Oh, look at that. You see their link is deleted. There was a link there. It means it was deleted. And then as Canadian Prime Minister, it goes on, as Canadian Prime Minister Jean Chrétien happened to be visiting Pakistan, he mentioned the matter to Pakistani Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto, who promised, quote, fair trial and fair treatment, lacking evidence to suggest Qatar's involvement in the bombing, which was very strong. I won't bore you with the details, but very, very strong. But after Jean, a proof is a proof, is a proof, is a proof, visited, had a little pressure from the two groups that I listed prior, working together. Isn't that strange? I thought we were told this was these people were opposed to each other. Hmm. I don't know. I think a lot of the stuff we see in our world is kind of fake. Kind of fake. Maybe just kind of. Just seeing this live. Hey, Michael. I just was saying that I lost, so I'll reiterate that. I lost due to some unforeseen circumstances. I don't have anybody's phone number and stuff again. So if anybody who does contact me by phone, messages me and that kind of thing, or perhaps maybe you do want to contact me. Maybe you're not a dis-op campaign. That would be great. Don't contact me if you are. Otherwise, I'm going to be unhappy. Not saying you, Michael. I'm just saying other shitbags out there. Point Fire's here too. Good stuff. Point. You're Ginger. You marginalized. You're marginalized. 2 legs. Bad. 4 legs. Good. Cider. Good. Right? Paul? Love our wives. He loved us as the sons of God. Yep. Porn. Debauchery took down how many? It is one sign of the decline throughout history of different civilizations. Debauchery is one. Stop typing, let them catch up. It's come on. I'm sorry, I'm just too slow. I get into other stuff. They're all buddies. Turdies buddies with look at, they're all friends. They all shake each other's hands. All of them. All politicians, all sides, all countries. You don't get to that place unless you are part of that game, because you can't stay. Just like if you're a good RCMP officer, they're going to get rid of you. That's what happens. You have to play their game. Well, you don't have to, obviously, but it will come down on you like a sledgehammer, and people don't like that. They're too afraid to just let it happen. Who cares? Fuck them, man. What are they going to do? City of London, well, that's part of it. You know, too much lag. Cotter's mother is a human rights complaint. Hell spawn cut off from national wheelchair basketball tryouts. Oh, yes. Well, they're all worked, but who controls them? Right? See, I made this. I didn't look deep enough into all that at one point. And so I was playing that game, their game. And they had me off putting not false things, because everything I said was true. However, it was pushing somebody else's agenda. Even though I wasn't getting paid, nobody contacted me about it or whatever, it still was pushing somebody else's agenda until I followed the money. Then I understood. Oh, you really fucked me now. You made me fuck other people. That's pretty awesome. No. Seamus not going to play your game. Cotter's dad, Ottawa's contribution to 911. Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. She excels at losing passports. I don't know where she is. Zainab. I don't know what happened to Zainab. Where is Zainab? Last I heard, she was in Turkey. apprehension in Turkey. After her release, Khadr moved to Sudan, where she lived with her fourth husband and 4 children before moving again to Georgia. Wow. Okay. You see, they just go all over the place, eh? I have to wonder who's sending them. Certain groups. Oh, those people hate each other. What are you talking about, Seamus? No. Boyle was previously married to Khadr's sister. Yeah. Oh, Todd, I don't know. Maybe it's just too much. You never called me, by the way, bastard. Not that you can right now, but you could send me your phone number. I could call you. I gotta go pick up a dumb phone. I think I have a few around the house. Dumb phones. You remember dumb phones? I like dumb phones. It's harder to triangulate where you are. Harder. And they don't have apps. But that phone is dumb because it doesn't dumb you down. Anyway, I really went astray talking about other stuff, which I probably shouldn't really talk about too much, but warm the waters. Maybe it's okay. Just kind of float a few ideas. People can punch around in their spare time, look at different things, and see who's who. Go up the food chain. And going up the food chain is always fun. It's always fun. They all have names. They have names, don't they, Todd? Anyways, I do hope that you all have a super day. Please throw that around. Hashtag, that was great, Aussie. Great idea. Hashtag 23 Angels. Perfect. Tweet it over to the RCMP. It's not like they don't all know who you are anyway. Guaranteed they know who you are. You cannot hide. So, I use the docs cord. No. I use the Facebook. No. They're all, you play in this world, we're all monitored. It's all being banked. Steve sent me another program that I was unaware of, which is affiliated to Project Wide Awake 2.0. I'm sure it's coming from somewhere. Maybe. I know who, when I say those things, certain of you are just laughing your balls off. But anyway, I do hope that you have a fantastic day. Keep praying for you all. I keep praying for you all. I know there's a few people right now who are going through some hard times. And my prayers are with you. My thoughts and prayers, my heart. And it's with all of you down in Nova Scotia. We'll get through this one. Just soldier on. Good day, everybody. God bless.